Good morning. We're here to take a look at SoCal Cycle Sound's new Micro Ugly amp. Why is it called an ugly amp? Well, because it's ugly. Why would anyone make an amp that's intentionally ugly? Well, it's not intentionally ugly, but just kind of a side effect of the fact that we build these in-house and we need a lot of heat dissipation, so there's no enclosure around them. Why are we building our own amps for our motorcycle speakers? Not because we want to, but because there really is nothing out there right now that does the job. You want something small enough to fit just about anywhere on any motorcycle, and you want it powerful enough to run to actual full-size real speakers. And that's where the ugly amp comes in. It can fit in a little tool pouch, it can fit under a seat, it can fit behind a mini fairing. There's really no end to where you can fit this. It's light, it's durable, you can toss it really just about anywhere. And what really makes it so good is really the power output and the fact that it's set to go. It has a true 100 watts RMS. It's got a true 24 volt power supply built in. It's not a little cheap booster. It's a true Class D amplifier, 50 watts RMS times 2. Every other small amp on the market that I've tested has been between 15 and 20 watts RMS. So that just really wasn't enough power for a loud motorcycle on the road. 100 watts RMS, and now you're driving these speakers to their full potential. The ugly amp has some other advantages as well. One, it's just set to go. You hook the power up to at least a 10 amp circuit on your bike, speaker wires up to the speakers, and the input up to the Bluetooth controller that you use. It's pre-tuned, and that means the gains are set for the speakers and the crossovers are set. In fact, there's two different models, one for the 4-inch and one for the 5 1/4, but they're pre-set up and ready to go. And when I say pre-set up and ready to go, I mean for our speakers. These aren't the cheap plastic Harley speakers that you see on eBay. They are true show quality chrome. They've got some heft to it. They've got genuine Polk marine speakers inside, true coaxials. Just the kind of quality you want to put on your bike. This is the 4.5-inch model, and it is customarily put on handlebars, although it will also go on a crash bar. We supply 3 different size clamps to fit whatever size bars you have. And then the other edition of the Micro Ugly amp will support the 5 1/4, and it's just tuned a little differently, and gains and the crossovers adjusted a little differently for the bigger speaker. These are primarily used on a crash bar setup. I mentioned before the Bluetooth controller, and while the Ugly amp will work with just about any source, the gains are set specifically for the NVX Bluetooth controllers that we use. The simplest of which is the VUBT2, and it's just a Bluetooth puck, power, ground, and signal output directly to the amplifier, and you're good to go. You have to control all the music on your phone. The other style of controllers, the XUBT3 and XUBT4, have actual control on the Bluetooth controller, and that allows you to change volume, track, seek, scan, play, and pause. This particular one has buttons, the other one has a knob. Both of them mount very nicely on most handlebars, and if you have a little skill with a Dremel, you can modify the mounting bracket to use the 2 existing holes in your clutch or brake lever. It ends up working out very well and fits very nicely. It looks a little cumbersome here, but with this sliding right below the brake lever, or the brake master cylinder or clutch master cylinder, it fits really nicely. So there you have it, Micro Ugly amp. Yeah, it's not pretty. You wouldn't want to mount it in the open air where someone could see it on your bike, but it's so small that you can hide it just about anywhere, and it has at least 2 times as much power as any other amp its size on the market. So it really is perfect for a bike where you don't have a big fairing, you don't have bags, you don't have room for a big full-size system. In other words, exactly the kind of bikes that are going to use these speakers.